now I'm just going to hand it over to Brother Davis. As I said, the topic that he's going to be talking to us about is building healthy habits. Okay, so over to you, Brother Davis.
Yes, can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Yeah, so good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining. Thank you for some of you who've come new this week. We welcome you as well. So we've been looking at series of topics that, as students, and even for some of you are working, that we as Christian students, Christian professionals, we can use in our daily life of being a student or a professional, and see progress, see how we can effectively, efficiently use our time, our resources, make plans, beat procrastination. We looked at that last week. Look at Ikigai, kind of the purpose of looking forward, and all of those things. And why we do these is so that as not just as Christians in churches, we are effective and we are active, but even as students, and as citizens of the country that you are part of, we excel in everything that we do. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a whole lot about planning, and how you as students can start planning about various aspects of your life, because without plans we won't get anywhere. And we look at some practical ways to plan our time and look forward, and plan things. So I've sent a link in the chat, so if you could just click on that link again. I'm just sharing it again, and it takes you to a canva.live. You've got to enter the code 679132. So once you put on those numbers, you will be directed to a kind of a question box kind of thing. In the big box, you can put in your place where you're joining from, and then the small box below, you can put in your name. The small box below that, put your name. In the big box, you can put in your place. Okay, small box is the name, big box is the place. If you could do that, that would be awesome. So click on the link, put in the code, and then yes, I can see David from Dublin. I can see Samuel from the UK. Jayesh, you got it ulta. The Jayesh should be in the name box. You got it the other way around. Yes. Okay. Kristen from Dublin. Yes. Joshua from Dublin. I can see Angelin from Dublin. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Keep doing that. Big box is your place. Small box is your name. So Jayesh, you got it right now. You are from Ireland. I know that. Yes. Okay. So that's what we're going to use, and we're going to look at making plans that really work. That really work. So everyone, just keep putting in your place and your name in that box using the link, and we'll keep that for interaction, and I'll be able to see your answers in one place, and that's why we are doing that. All right. So we started off. You remember, those of you are attending for quite a few weeks. You remember we started off with purpose. We started off with Ikigai, right? If you just we just note that down. We started off with Ikigai, which means purpose, which means direction, which means where are we headed. We looked at knowing ourselves, and then we looked at things like SWOT analysis. Looked at what our strengths and weaknesses are. We looked at what are things that we enjoy doing, what are things that we are good at, what are things that people know us for, what are things that are our weaknesses, areas that we need guidance in. And all of that was just to help us understand what are some areas that we can build on into the future. So strengths are what become opportunities, and weaknesses are what become threats, and that's what we looked at. We also looked at MBTI, a kind of way of looking at our personality, looking at how we are wired, and things like that, and all of those things we looked at. So this is what we started, and then we started to look about time, and how digitally we are so connected, we lose focus, and we can manage time. The wheel of time, we did that. In procrastination, that's the 4 sessions we did, and all of this was kind of helping us understand that we are called for a purpose, but unfortunately we get so stuck in other things that we often forget our purpose, and we forget to either create goals or fulfill those goals, right? So what are some of the roles that we play? Just think about that. The various roles that we play. We play the role of the relational roles. Okay, relational roles, that is son or daughter, husband, wife, or father or mother. We play those roles. We play certain social roles. Social roles as a citizen. As a citizen, we play social roles. We play spiritual roles. Spiritual roles as a member of a church, as a child of God. There are these spiritual roles as a Christian. As a Christian, there are these roles that we play. We play academic roles. Academic roles as a student. We play that role, and as an aspirant. Let's say you're getting ready for an exam, or a competitive exam. That's an aspirant. We also have some personal roles, as in the way we take care of our health, and upskilling ourselves. Creating those skills. All of that are personal roles as well. So there are all of these different hats. It's called these role hats. The various roles that we play every day. We are also we are a son or a daughter. Also, we are a citizen. Also, we are a Christian. Also, we are a student. Also, there are these certain personal goals that we have, the roles that we play, and we are a lot of people. When somebody asks you what's your name, you're not just Samuel. You're not just Jonathan. You're not just Davis. There's so much more to you than just your name. Just as a student of this particular school or college, there's so much more. And so, when you think about making plans, and being successful in them, it's good to connect these two things. One is purpose, that's your direction in which you're going, and two, it is these various roles that you play. So one is direction, and one is these roles. So once you connect these two, you'll be able to understand how to make good plans. So that's what we're going to talk about today, making good plans. So thank you, Timothy, joining from Manchester, and everyone else who has put in. So please click on the link in the chat and put in your code. So we've got Dunia from England. Thank you so much for joining. Right. So we're going to look at the at plans that work. So when we talk about plans, one of the things that come to our mind, we make a lot of plans on one particular day of the year, which is the 31st of December. That's the day where the whole world makes plans. And so have you ever made a New Year resolution? Give me a thumbs up if you ever have. Have you ever made a New Year resolution in your life? New Year resolution is made on the 31st of December, and it is like, this coming year I am going to dash dash dash, whatever that is. Okay, I can see a couple of people giving me a thumbs up, around 7-8 of you. All right, so we've all, at least most of us have. But let's just get into that. What are some of your popular New Year resolutions, or maybe not what you have made? What do you see people around you, or even you made that? So can we use the Canva chat for that? This particular chat, can you just use the link that was shared? There's this box. You can just keep putting in your answers. What are some New Year resolutions that you see people make about? Okay, this is all about talking about planning. This is one place, one time of the year everyone plans. So can you use that Canva link that I shared in the chat? Let me put the link again in case you missed it. You can click on that. The code is 679132, and you can put in your answers there. I'd love to see your answers. What are some popular New Year resolutions that you see people make? Okay, guitar, playing an instrument, join the gym, finish the Bible. Yes, I think a lot of Christians, staying healthy. Yes, eating healthy, staying healthy. See, a lot of that is health related, or music related, skill related, or finishing the Bible in that year. Yes. These are things that a lot of people do. Spending time with my guitar, playing an instrument, staying healthy, gym, instrument, learning instruments. Yes, a lot of us make resolutions. That's a very popular. Yes, study more. That is true. That is true. Okay, so now next one. This is interesting. So again, now think about it. What statistics have shown is around 80% of New Year resolutions fail within 2 months. That means whatever decision you made on January 1st, by the time it reaches March 1st, it's gone. 80% is gone. Right? People fail to do it, or forget about it, or just move on, Why do you think 80% of New Year resolutions fail within 2 months? Any reason? Any reason? Again, use the same chat. Just put in your answers there. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can look into your own life or look into your lives of your friends. Just observe, why do people, though it's a very passionate decision they make, right, on 31st December or 1st of January, or this year I'm gonna do it, and then within 2 months, many of them even forgot. I forgot what what I decided. Lack of determination, says Timothy. Dunia says lack of motivation and consistency. Procrastination. Okay, we decide, yeah, I'll do it later. Possibly unrealistic. That's quite a possibility. That the decisions that they made or the resolutions that they made were quite unrealistic. I want to lose 5 kilos or like 3 pounds or 10 pounds every month. If you want to lose some weight, that could be probably unrealistic. School or work gets more priority. Something else comes up, and that gets more priority. All right, that's a possibility. Either it's not practically possible, or they lose the motivation and heat after 31st. That is true. Laws of zeal and motivation. Yes, yes, yes. Most of you saying it's Dunia, as she says, motivation and consistency. Loss of zeal is what Angelin says. Samuel talks about unrealistic. So does Christine. All right. So we've seen this happen, right? We've seen this happen. People very passionately take decisions and then just forget about it very soon. So some of the reasons are as follows, of course, including what you said. They're often not tied to roles. Remember the roles that we talked about. The role of a son, of a citizen, of a member of a church, Christian, aspirant, health, things like that, as a personal role. Many times our goals are quite vague, and all of these things often are not tied to our goals. It's more like, I want to be healthy. Okay, I want to be healthy. Okay, so what? Why do you want to be healthy? Is it tied to a particular role? Is it helping you lead to your purpose? Why do you even want to do that? Okay, I want to read the Bible throughout. Okay, tell me why. So it's a good idea, definitely a good idea, but why? What makes you want to do that? I want to learn the instrument. Okay, so what will you do after learning an instrument? Is there something that you're building up to? Is there a role that you want to play better? So goals are often not tied to roles. Sometimes they're not defined. It's very vague. I want to be a better person. And what does that mean? I want to be healthy. Great idea, but what does that look like for you? Many times these goals are not measurable. It's like, I want to learn to play the guitar. Great idea, but how do you measure it? How do you know you're making progress? How do you know? Okay, instead of saying, I want to learn to play the guitar, you could probably say, I want to learn 20 new chords, or I want to learn 5 different scales. That makes little more sense because it's measurable. If it's not measurable, it's highly likely you'll forget about it. It's not time bound. I want to be a better musician. That's it. When, by when? Is there a time measurement? No accountability. Nobody else knows about your goal or whatever you decided, and therefore, when you don't follow it, nobody asks you a question, and you just forget about it. So a lot of these reasons are there for why our New Year resolutions, no matter how sincere they are, how good they are, how well-meaning they are, often just don't go through. So, what we're going to do right now is also a plan, and we're talking about planning. There's also a possibility of failure. So this is not a foolproof plan. If you follow this, everything's going to fall in place. That's not what I'm saying. But we're going to look at a better way of looking at things, better way of doing things, and that follows a diagram. This is kind of the big picture of what we'll talk today in the next 40 minutes or so. Is we start off with purpose and calling. Now, this is what we did on day one. Know yourself. Where are you headed? What do you want to do in life? What's a goal towards which you're moving towards? What is the passion God has placed in your heart? What is the direction God is leading you? Are you aware of that? What are your personality traits? Your positives and negatives? What are your strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats? What's your Ikigai? That's what we talked about, and that leads to looking at your various roles, like we did a while ago, looking at your various roles as relational roles, social roles, spiritual roles, academic roles, the various roles that we play. So it leads us to the various roles. So purpose in calling, direction in life, looking at what are the roles I need to play better. You might be a great student, but a terribly bad son or daughter. You have huge fights and issues with your parents, so that's the role you need to grow in. Maybe you're really good as a son or daughter at home, but academics, you're not able to focus. Maybe you're a really good academic student and you're good at home, but your spiritual life, you're not being able to be disciplined. You are really good in academics and at home, but probably you are not a trustworthy friend. So socially, you're kind of awkward. That's an area to grow in. So all of us have areas and roles to grow in. So how do we do that? It's by using this. This is one way to look at it, and it's called OKRs and I's. O stands for objectives. KR stands for key result, and I stands for initiatives. So OKRs and I's, and we look at these three things today, and I hope that it makes sense to you. So I hope this big picture remains with you. There is this purpose and calling that God has placed in our lives, in our hearts, and that's where we are headed. That's what God called us to follow Him, to glorify Him, to honor Him in everything we do, whether we eat or drink or do anything, whether we study, whether we learn a new skill and eat or drink or anything we do, we are called to glorify Him and proclaim His name through our lives. That's our calling, that's our purpose, that's our direction. Each of us have slightly specific calling, but generally we are called to represent God and glorify His name. And all of us play different roles, and for each role you can think of objectives, key results, and initiatives. So, as I said, this is not the best way, the perfect way, the foolproof way, but it's a better way to make plans and see them through, right? So this comes from a book, Measure What Matters, by John Doerr. And John Doerr was one of the investors in Intel. Intel is the company that makes a lot of chips, these semiconductor chips, and not Lay's and Pringles. It's it's these computer chips, and they're quite. I mean, most computers use their chips. I think Apple has come up with their own chip, but usually Intel is what most of the computers in the world run with. So he was one of the investors, the key investors, and he also was kind of a mentor to the founders of Google, Larry Page, Sergey Brin, and he was kind of a mentor to them. And this is a system that Google adopted around 25 years back when they were starting up, and to this day they follow this system for planning. So this is the system that has been used by a lot of companies. So basically it's these three things: objectives, which is your goal, then it's followed by key results, followed by initiatives. Objectives, key results, initiatives. So basically it looks something like this. You can read the statement: I will, and whatever your objective is. And how do I know I'm making progress? As measured by the key results, by using these steps. I'll explain what this means, but this is the whole idea. I will do this thing, and how will I know I'm doing this thing, I'm getting it right? By having some key results, some pointers, some markers to know that I'm making progress. And how do I get there? By taking these steps, which are called initiatives. Okay, so a lot of companies use this for their planning, and Google, and being one of the pioneers in using this, and so many hundreds of companies use this as their planning methodology. But what we're doing is what the companies use, the corporate world use, OKRs and I's. We're going to bring it to a personal level, our personal level, and slightly adapt it, slightly differently for our use. All right. So I want you to take a piece of paper, and on that I want you to just write one role that is very, very important to you. So it could be the spiritual role, or it could be an academic role. I think I will recommend that you think about that, because that helps you in the other stages as well. But you're free to take any role. It could be a personal Um, for example, a health. So it's a personal role, you're thinking about your health. It could be an instrument you want to learn, but just think about academics. I think that'll be common for all of us. And as a student, role as a student of a school or a college, wherever you or a university, wherever you are. So think about that one role. So I would recommend student, but it's up to you. Okay, so just write down that on the top of the page, student or son or Christian or musician or a fit person or whatever that role is that you want to put. But student is what I recommend. Okay, so that's number one. So we're going to make OKRs, objectives, KRs, key results, and I's, initiative. So how do you make an objective? How do you make an objective? So objective is the what. What as in what do you want to achieve? Or where do I want to go? It kind of gives you a direction. So let's say you are a student, and as we did probably two days back, so last 5 days, last week, we talked about looking into the future, our future self. Where do you want to see yourself in 5 years? What's a goal that you want to reach in 5 years? We talked about that. So objective is kind of that role. Where do I want to get to? So if you're a school student and you are looking for clearing an exam to get into a very good college, that's where do I want to go? I want to be a college grad from this particular university in the next 5 years, or I want to get into this college in the next 5 years, whatever that goal is. Or if you are already in college, I want to start working at this level in the next 5 years, or something like that. So look into the future, maybe 6 months into the future or 3 months into the future. So that's short term. Maybe 1 year, 2 years, that's kind of medium range, and maybe 5 years into the future, which is kind of long term goal. So goals are these three types: short term, like within the next 2-3 months, then mid term, which is kind of 6 months to 1 year, and then beyond that is kind of a long term goal. So objective is kind of giving you that direction. Where do I want to go? And this is connected to your role. So getting into that college is very much connected to your role as a student. Yeah, and what we're going to do now is just write down your goal, a qualitative description of your goal. That means just writing it down. It should be around maximum about 10 words. It should be inspirational and engaging. It should be difficult but not impossible. So becoming the Prime Minister of the UK or Ireland, that's a nice goal, but I mean, looks a bit too much. that's like just too much. So you're stretching too much. So what is it that is kind of difficult, but yes, if you push yourself, you could probably get there. Yeah, so it should be inspirational, it should be engaging. So write down that goal for that role that you wrote on the top. So if it's a student, something related to that within 10 words. Okay, so let me give you an example. Two examples, and then you can create something on your own. So for example, let's say my idea or goal is to eat healthy. So instead of writing the goal as I want to eat healthy, you're writing something like this: improve my quality of life by upgrading my diet. So that's a pretty cool objective, right? So instead of just saying I want to be a healthy, I want to eat healthy, I want to be a healthier person, sounds okay, but it's very vague. It could mean anything. But this one is these examples. So these are short, inspirational. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. Okay, so if you would like to share a few with me, if you'd like to share using the chat, that's perfectly fine. I'd love to hear, but write it on a piece of paper. Another one: be a better dad. Okay, that's a very nice goal, but how do you write that down, like in with an inspirational tone to it? Give time to my daughter, both in quality and quantity. That means give time, enough time, and also use that time well. Quantity and quality. So objective has to be inspirational. Objective has to be something. Be a graduate graduate with honors from this college in the next 5 years. So you're not even gone to the college, you're still a grade 12 student, or you're still in school, but 5 years down the line, that's what you're looking at. That's something that you're looking at. Or get admission, get a seat in this particular college on merit. And become a student of this university, something like that. Or complete my academics with this particular grade point average or whatever that is. So objective is looking forward, is looking at the role that you want to play well, and then writing a statement. So if you could just do that for the role that you wrote down, that would be awesome. Okay, that's step number one. Objective. Okay, so once again, objective is short, it's inspirational, it is kind of a description of where do you want to go, what do you want to do, what is it that you want to achieve for that role that you wrote down. That's number one. Okay, so I hope think about a goal that is important to a role that you play in life. Make a crisp objective. Anyone who likes to share what you just wrote? You can unmute if you'd like to. You can just put it in the chat. You can put it here. Okay, to be a good friend, Joanna says, to have a positive reputation as a trustworthy, reliable friend. Wow, that's awesome. So she talked about the friend, the role of a friend, and the objective is to have a trustworthy, reliable reputation of being a trustworthy. That's awesome, Joanne. Thank you so much. That's pretty awesome. So that's how you write objectives. It's inspirational. It's short. It is giving you some sort of direction. So trustworthiness, reliability, and you want to have a reputation of you want to do it again and again so that people know you as a trustworthy person. Awesome, wonderful. Anyone else would like to? So Joshua talks about being student. Work hard enough to become next year's student of the year. Joshua, way to go, man, way to go. That is awesome. That's a good objective, a good goal. It's short, it's crisp, it's to the point, and it's giving you, it's not impossible, but it's difficult. Definitely difficult, but it's not impossible at all. So having the reputation of being a trustworthy, reliable friend, it's not impossible, but it's definitely going to be difficult. And that's good. Goals are definitely pushing us to do more. It pushes us to do more and grow more. Anyone else? One more person. I mean, if you could just put it in the chat, I would love to hear that. So objective. So the role as a student and objective in that student. So 3 to 8 words, short description of where do you want to get into. So that's number one. We're starting with OKRs and I's. We just started off with the first level, which is setting a direction. Awesome. Number two is key results. Key results are the how. So basically you're asking, well, I have this goal, this objective I want to get into, I want to achieve, reputation as a friend, student of the year, get into this university, become known as a well-known as a guitarist or a pianist, or I want to be able to play in my church choir as a pianist or a guitarist. You know, that's a good objective. That's something I want to I want to eat and stay healthy and fit in this year. That's a good objective. So key results are basically asking yourself, okay, that's a great objective. How do I know if I'm progressing? So it's not just enough to make some goals like we make with New Year resolutions. It's great, that's great. But how do you know you're progressing? How do you know you are moving forward? So key results are kind of a progress report. It's just kind of looking at whether I am actually making progress, moving forward. So what do we do here is think of 2 to 5 key results for each objective. So you wrote down one objective. Think of 2 to 5 key results. So this should be a number. And it possibly can include a date by which you want to finish this. By what end point, kind of a due date kind of thing. By when do you want to finish this? So key results need to have a number. It must have a number. So here is some examples. So let's take the first example of objective being improve quality of life by upgrading my diet. That's a great objective. Key results. How do I know I'm progressing? Just some indications. Number one, how do I get there? How do I make this objective real? Is by, let's say, reducing sugar consumption by 25%. Yeah, that's one way. That's one key results. Look at 25%. That's a number. Bring the body mass index, the BMI, the height and weight, that kind of ratio, within the healthy range. So if you're outside the healthy range, it's good to push yourself to come within the healthy range. I think it's around 25, 27. I don't remember. So bring BMI within healthy range. So that's again a number. That's again a number. So there is something to aim for, target for. So upgrading my diet, improving quality of life looks very fancy, very high sounding. But unless there is some number to tie it and measure it, you'll never know. What do you mean by upgrading my diet? What do you mean by quality of life getting improved? What do you mean by being healthy? What do you mean by being a good friend? What do you mean by getting the student of the year? How do you get there? How do you make progress? Think of some key results. Reduce eating out, not more than 4 a month, once a week at the max. Monthly food budget, make sure that's around 25% spent on fruits and vegetables. So again, all of this is directly connecting. So in case I reduce my sugar consumption by 25%, definitely it's going to upgrade my diet because I'm consuming less sugar. As the BMI comes within healthy range, of course my quality of life will improve. I'll feel better and healthy. If I reduce eating out, definitely I'll eat healthier food from home. And if I'm going to spend 25% on fruits and vegetables, that is definitely going to upgrade my diet. So this objective starts to have life when there are key results. So you wrote roles on top, objective below that. Now think of 2 to 3 key results. I'm going to give you a minute to just think about that. This is the most important step, guys. And think about an objective that you made and look for some key results. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 key results. Remember, key results need to have a number. It's quantitative. There is a quantity. It must have a number. Or if you want to add a date, by this date, I want to see this. So as you can see here, not more than four a month. Monthly food budget, again giving you time as well, and also there is a number. So think of few key results that you want to add for the objective. You can use this as an example. Take another 30 seconds for that. All right, so anyone would like to put in their key results in the chat? You can use that. Maybe one of your key results. How do you know if you're making progress? How will you know and measure your progress? So one of you said, I want to be a trustworthy friend. How will you know? Is there a number? So for example, have at least 3 close friends whom I talk to on a regular basis. Be friendly with at least 15 people, and be close friends with, let's say, 2 or 3. That can be one way to look at it. Okay. Josh was saying, not being late more than thrice a month, taking part in at least 3 extracurricular activities, earning the position of my school's roll of honor every month. Wow, that is again every month, 3 activities, not more than thrice a month. Again, there is a number. Thanks, Joshua. This is awesome. Good work, man. Others, I mean, this is a good way. So because this was his objective this is his big next year. So this is 2023. He's talking about this next coming year. This is a long-term plan. It's a 12-month plan. But getting there, how do you know you're getting towards this objective? Is when you do this every month. There's things that there is a number attached to it. Okay, not more than 3 times late. At least 3 extracurricular activities, and then every month the roll of honor. That's something to aim for. That's how you know you are making progress. Awesome. One more person. I mean, I hope all of you are writing. If you could just just type it out here, that would make it really awesome. All right, so that's just to summarize. It's a progress report. It is helping you see. So just like Joshua said, I want to participate in 3 extracurricular activities. It is definitely going to lead to the bigger objective. And so now it makes it very clear. It's a good plan, because now you have something to aim for. Well, I've got to find out what those 3 extracurricular activities are. I've got to track how many times I'm late in submitting things. I've got to see what it takes to be on the roll of honor. What should I do to get this? So there is a little more clarity rather than just a wishful hope. I wish I was the student of the year. That would have been so nice. That's my dream. It doesn't happen like that. Dreams don't work like that. Joanna says, better friend, good reputation with at least 3 close friends. Yeah, that's good. Samuel says get 1A plus, I guess, 1A plus or A star, and 2A in mocks. And key results would be utilizing weekends and doing extra hours at school by 3 hours. So again, Samuel, what I would say is you have jumped the gun. This is more of the initiatives which are coming next. So I think key results, this would be one of the key results. 1A star and 2A in mocks would be a key result. And what he wrote next is an initiative to get to that. I'll come to that. Okay, but yeah, good one. 1A plus and A star and 2As. That's a good key result to know. I think you're talking about getting into a university or clearing an exam, if I'm not wrong. That's a good key result. But the second part is the next stage. All right, so let's get to the third one. We are looking at OKRs, and let's get to the third one, which is I's, which is initiatives. So objectives gives you direction, initiatives gives you something to aim for, some numbers to like know if you're progressing, and then you've got the initiatives. Okay, this is the key result I want to get. Okay, 2A's and 1A star, 3 extracurricular activities, 3 close friends. Okay, this is a good number to target. That's great. It leads to my objective. Now what? What do I do to get there? Where? To the key results. What do I do to get 1A star and 2A's? What do I do to be active in 3 extracurricular activities? What do I do to submit my assignments on time and not be late more than thrice? What do I do to be on the roll of honors? What do I do to be close with 3 of my friends? So initiatives are the steps that you take, and that's why I told Samuel that what you said, extra hours, put in 3 extra hours a week, is the initiative, is the step you take to get to the key result. Objectives on top, key results at the next stage, and initiatives is what lead you towards the key result. So it's basically looking at key results from multiple angles, and it's these initiatives that impact the objectives and key results, I guess. So these are practical, these are time bound, these are action packed. There is a lot of action words. So do, submit, or practice. So let's say you want to play in church by the end of this year. That's your objective. So what are some key results? I'd learn 5 different scales. I learned 15 different chords. I will learn 5 strumming patterns. That's the key results. 3 key results all have a number. So if I want to learn 5 different scales, what should I do? What are the initiatives? I can sign up for a music class. I can download a few videos. I can subscribe to a few YouTube channels. I need to set aside practice time. I can talk to the person who's already playing right now. I can look up at various playing styles. I can consult a friend of mine who is playing. I can look at softwares that help me practice at home. So you're looking at key results from various angles and looking at what are the steps you can take. So let me just give you this example again. What is the objective in this example? Same thing, improve quality of life by upgrading my diet. And the things in bold are your key results. The same thing from the previous page. Reduce sugar consumption by 25%, BMI healthy range, eating out not more than 4, monthly budget 25%. Those are all key results to aim for. But how do I get to the 25%? The first key result. How do I do? What are some initiatives? I can measure my sugar intake. If you want to reduce something by 25%, you need to know how much you take, right? So I can measure my sugar intake if I want to get here. Another initiative is what are some healthier alternatives to sugar? Is there something else that I can take? Sugar substitutes. Limit artificially sweetened beverages. So if you are so used to drinking cola and fizzy drinks and a lot of these juices, store-bought juices, that has a lot of sugar. So that is one initiative. I can look for alternatives. I can measure my sugar intake and reduce that. That's an initiative I can take to get to the key result. What about BMI? How do I know if I'm in that healthy? What is an initiative? Well, I can measure my weight every day for the next 1 month. At this particular time, I'll go on the weighing scale, and see what do I weigh. That helps you keep track of your BMI. What about not eating out? not eating out very often. What can I do? So basically, it's four times a month. That's the max you want to eat out. So you can select those 4 days in advance. Okay, I'm going to eat out on this day, this day, this day, this day. That's the 4 times I'm going to eat, nothing else. No more eating out, and that's something you can decide. Make a list of dishes I can make or get made at home. Oh, I love, let's say, butter chicken, and let's say that's something that you love. Think of ways in which you can get it made done. I'm just giving an example, right? Just an example. Same thing. Monthly budget, reduce unhealthy leakage. So look for some initiatives. What can you do to get to the key results? Look at your key results. Think of 1 or 2 or 3 steps for each key results. What can you do to get there? Three extracurricular activities. How do I get there? Okay, I need to find time. I need to, and things like that. Or I need to decide what those extracurricular activities are. Similarly, I need to be close with 3 friends. What can you do to get? What are some initiatives you can do to for that to get there? Okay, so I'm going to give you another minute to do this. I'm going to just put an example here. You can look at this example, take a minute, and write down some initiatives. All right. I hope you have done that. Anyone would like to share? What are some initiatives that you have noted down? Okay, so we're seeing some answers. Timothy saying objective is get better results. Key result, get 4 grades, 7 to 9s. Initiative, do more practice papers. Awesome, wonderful. That is quite, yeah, that's quite true. That's quite true. It just makes sense, right? So if you want to get better results for your exams, then you need to get at least 4 7 to 9s. That just gives you a better result. That's your key result. That's what you aim for. So initiative. So one more initiative is identify your top 4 subjects where you could possibly get a 7 to 9. Yeah, that just makes things easier. So a possible 7 to 9. And then, as you rightly said, do more practice papers. Yeah, Joshua is on a roll today. He's just typing it out. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. So Joshua is saying, have a managed sleep cycle. Very good initiative. I think it works for every goal. Get ready for school quicker. Yeah, that makes you less late. Invest time in these courses outside and inside of school. The 3 courses that you mentioned, find those courses, decide on those courses, invest your time in that, decide which activities are best, behave well in class. Yeah, if you want a name on your honor roll, complete homeworks on time, socialize with friends and teachers. Yes, that's a skill that you will need to have. So I mean, all of this are different initiatives, so it's not like one initiative, right? So I think it's number 3. For number 3, these are the various initiatives. Number 2, these are the various initiatives, and number 1, these are the 2 initiatives. So I hope you're seeing how these things are connected. Objective is your big goal, but just having a big goal is not going to get you anywhere. You need to break it down and look for markers. It's like you are driving from London, let's say, to, I don't know, Bristol to Manchester, and then there's I don't know how many miles that is. And as you get closer to Manchester, you'll see that, okay, there's few more kilometers to go, few more miles to go, few more kilometers to go, miles to go. And you'll see that there's these milestones. That's how you know you're getting closer. That's how you know you are nearing this goal, this end destination. Similarly, key results are numbers that help you know that you are going good. So just like Joanna said, I want to be a trustworthy friend. That's a great idea, but you will not be able to measure that unless you have some numbers. And that's where key results come. And key results will just remain as dreams if there are no initiatives. Initiatives power propel the key results. Key results get you to the objectives. Okay, so that's we all yes. Thank you. So this is what we mentioned today, right? So it starts with purpose, and purpose is our big direction, a big picture idea. Where do you want to go in life? And then you have these roles that we play. So we just did it for one role. Remember, you did it for as a friend, you probably as a student, probably as a son, probably as a Christian, whatever that role is. You can start thinking of this for various roles, the important roles of your life, the various important roles of your life. And you can think of what are some objectives, what are some key results. Objectives are these big ideas, the direction. Key results are the markers, that or the quantities, that or the numbers that you want to aim for, and initiatives is what take you to that. All right, so just want to end it here. I would like to take any questions. If there are any comments, questions, did you find this useful? You can just put that in the comments right here on Canva, canva.live. Just post your comments right here, and of course there is a feedback form at the end. I know that, but just to, if there are any questions, any comments here, so just wanted to give you a very simple way of planning. And as you do this further, just take some time today, sometime when you get it, look at it, look at what you wrote. If you want to expand on this, if you want to just make it slightly more polished, you can spend time on that, or take another role, an entirely new role. Look at the objectives, and what are some key results that get you to the objective, and what are some initiatives that you can do to get there, right? So I want to give it back to Christine. You can take it over and coordinate any questions that you're coming that are there. Any comments, any questions, you're free to put that in the Zoom chat, Canva chat, wherever you want to put it. But thank you so much for your time.
Great, thank you, Brother Davis. It is actually very wonderful because, when it comes to me, like as a college student as well, I never take time to kind of analyze my goals. I tend to throw it all on a page and then think of a time to do it. And I feel like sometimes in that sort of way, you kind of lose the key. Like you don't really realize how important it is until the time comes. So this type of way, it kind of helps you to realize the importance of those goals, and it gives you a specific, just it gives you specific tasks and everything to do in order to achieve that goal. Because whenever we have a goal in front of us, we think it's so big that we might procrastinate a little to actually try and fulfill the goal. But when we take baby steps with different small tasks, you're there, you're able to achieve that goal much faster as well. So yeah, that was really helpful. Thank you so much. I'll be trying that for the next few days now. Thank you. So does anyone have any questions? If you do have any questions, please do post it into the Zoom chat box. Okay, you can chat to me privately, or you could just answer, ask a question publicly. Doesn't matter, we don't mind. But look, during this time, while you guys are doing that, I just have a little bit of an announcement. So tomorrow we have our ICPF meetings as usual. So because it's the last Sunday of this month, we'll be having our Journey Through the Gospel session. And like we said last time, I hope you guys were studying from the book of Matthew, chapter 13 to 28. We'll be having a little quiz on that as well tomorrow, and you're able to win prizes that way too. So it's going to be at 7, okay? 7 tomorrow in the evening. So yes, that's Journey Through the Gospels, okay? Does anyone have any questions? If you want to unmute your mic or send it into the chat box. I'll give you guys a few more minutes. Yeah, and for anyone who hasn't joined the ICPF meetings yet, please do. It really is a blessing every single week. We have two different groups as well, Princess with a Purpose, Men with a Mission, and it just really is a blessing, you know. Um, yeah, we have loads of activities planned as well in the future, so if you guys are interested, please do join tomorrow, okay? Okay, no questions. Right, okay, so then we'll go ahead. Thank you so much again, Brother Davis. It really was very useful, okay? And I'll be using that for the next few days and seeing how it works. But I'm sure it's gonna be great. It's gonna be really helpful. So that's the end of our meeting. Just to close off with the prayer, I would like to ask David Job to please pray.
Gracious, loving, Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for this wonderful day, Lord. Thank you for helping us to come together as a community, Lord, and to focus on our plans, Lord. I pray that all the notes that we've taken down, Lord, will help us, Lord, and help our goals to be spiritually focused as well, Lord. Thank you for helping the uncle to come and tell us about everything, Lord. And I pray that you help us as well, Lord. Help us in any other meetings that will come up as well, Lord. I pray that you help everyone here, Lord, and help them all to focus on their goals and achieve them, Lord. Thank you for everything, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Thank you so much, dear David. May God bless you. And thank you again, Brother Davis. Thanks to everyone who joined here today. It was a pleasure having you guys here, okay? And yeah, have a lovely week. Hopefully see you guys tomorrow as well. Thank you.